Long before these artifacts were behind Vatican glass, they were part of sacred indigenous ceremonies, passed down through generations. These weren't just cultural objects, they were spiritual vessels. Many of them were taken during Catholic missionary expansions in the 19th and 20th centuries, often without consent. Some were gifts, others seized or collected under pressure, during a time when indigenous traditions were being suppressed. The artifacts were stored in the Anima Mundi Museum, a section of the Vatican museums that houses over 80,000 items from non-European cultures. Most of these had not been publicly displayed, and many indigenous communities had no idea they were even there. In recent decades, indigenous communities have launched global campaigns to reclaim what was taken: lands, languages, and cultural artifacts. Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission spotlighted the devastating impact of the residential school system, run largely by the Catholic Church. As awareness grew, so did pressure on institutions, like the Vatican, to make amends. In 2022, Pope Francis visited Canada to apologize for the Church's role in the abuse and cultural genocide of Indigenous peoples. During this visit, Indigenous delegations asked the Pope to return items of sacred significance held in Rome. He promised he would. In May 2025, that promise was fulfilled. Several sacred artifacts, regalia, masks, and traditional objects were handed over in a ceremony symbolizing not just the return of physical items, but the restoration of spiritual dignity. Indigenous leaders called it a turning point. These items will now be returned to their original nations, where they can be used in ceremonies, displayed with context, or simply be allowed to rest. It's not just about the objects, it's about listening, acknowledging pain, and taking responsibility. This return is part of a growing global movement. From Nigeria's Benin bronzes to Maori remains in New Zealand, museums and governments are being asked to answer tough questions: who owns culture? And what do we owe to those we wronged? The Vatican's decision could set a precedent. It sends a powerful message to other institutions: restitution is possible, and it matters. It helps rebuild trust. It tells Indigenous peoples, your culture matters, your pain is real, and it's time we begin to right these wrongs. This moment isn't just about the past. It's about the future, about healing, dignity, and mutual respect. It's about the power of returning what never should have been taken. And perhaps, it's just the beginning.